Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. Post-game Kentucky versus Auburn. Man, I was impressed. I ain't gonna lie. We definitely had a good showing today. And honestly, I actually forgot about this game. For some reason, I was thinking that we had Vandy next. So when I checked back and I was like, oh shit, we got Auburn before Vandy. And you know, if for some reason, just Bruce Pearl, I just always get a kick out of beating Bruce Pearl because I know he always be having some stuff to say about Kentucky and Coach Calipari, and overall I kind of like Bruce Pearl. He's one of those ones that if he wasn't so if he wasn't an older cat, if he was a little bit younger, and we had to have a replacement for Coach Cal, I might be cool with Bruce Pearl. But I always like beating Bruce Pearl. And at the end of the game, I don't know if y'all heard it, but they said that, what up, little bro? You in here, man? Big old victory, man. 40 points. But, actually, it ended up not being 40. My bad. It was 40, but then they ended up, getting some garbage points. But Bruce Pearl had made a comment apparently where he said if we didn't out rebound them, we would lose by 40, and they pretty much almost lost by 40. So I was excited to see that. I didn't think we was gonna beat them by 40, but I'm glad we needed to have a strong showing right about now. I think it gave a lot of the team confidence. It's one of the things that I'm loving right now is just seeing some of the players actually finally start to look like what we thought they was capable of coming into the season. Like, it's good now that we actually see Livingston playing well. Seem like he's learning how to play and fit in the college basketball and fit in at Kentucky. And then Antonio Reeves is actually starting to look like what I thought he would look like when I was watching him, when I was watching some of his clips over the summer. I thought he would be able to come in and do a lot of this stuff right off the bat. But, everybody has had their own little learning curve this season, and he finally worked his way out of it. So I'm loving what we getting from him, because I think that the only way we're going to really be able to make a strong showing in a tournament is we got to be able to shoot the ball consistently. And I'm super happy that he's finally starting to do it against good competition, because, all year against the weak teams, lesser opponents, all the summer teams, Reeves was killing it. And then when we started playing some good competition, he was looking a little shaky there. So, I mean, it's great to just see him getting on track. Let me see what his actual box score ended up being. So he ended up with 21 points, played 36 minutes, 8 for 13, and 4 for 7 from 3. We'll take that all day long. But I like that he wasn't just shooting threes. Like, he was making some nice little moves off the dribble. He was getting to the rack. He had the one layup where he finished on the other side of the rim. I think it was the and one. So I'm liking what we're getting out of Reeves right now. Kaysen had a what up, Slim? Yeah, it was a great game. Kaysen had an interesting game to me because, he ended up actually shooting well. He shot 6 for 12. He was 2 for 2 from 3. He ended up with 19 points. But, man, he left a lot of easy ones on the table, though. There was probably about 3 or 4 times he got to the basket and he missed some shots that I feel like, I feel like he missed some easy ones that normally he would make. And he still ended up with 19 points on 50% shooting. So, it was good to see Kaysen getting back on track too. I know Kaysen is tired, man. ever since Wheeler been hurt, Kaysen been playing like 35 plus every single night. So I know the guy is worn out. Antonio, along with Oscar, they all played 35 plus minutes. Oscar actually looked good tonight. He looked back, he looked like the old Oscar again. 8 for 10, 17 rebounds, 22 points. I mean, if we can get, we'll go on and say Kaysen basically, he had 19, but if we can get 3 guys dropping 20 plus points a game, that I'll take that all day long. And then obviously Toppin threw in a nice little 13. And Toppin has just been able to just basically play off the ball and find his way in the game. Like he's just getting a lot of scrap points, hustle points, and he's working in the mid range and just playing hard on both ends of the ball. He just been giving us some nice hustle plays. And he had a nice little double-double, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 6 for 11 shooting. I liked what I seen from most people. Chris Livingston didn't get to play as much as he normally did. He only played 23 minutes. He was 2 for 4 with 6 points. It's not really, I ain't going to say he had a disappointing game because I just don't think he really got, he didn't get to really get comfortable in the game. He'd been coming off back-to-back double-doubles. So I think he just didn't really get to, get in the rhythm of the game. But he really didn't, he didn't get to have good numbers. But he didn't, he played well enough to help us win, Go Kentucky Wildcats. Toppin is the X factor. Yeah, I like the way Toppin been playing, man. Like Toppin might not be one of those guys that you can like if he's your second best player, and then and you looking for him to make stuff happen, it might not be the best situation for him. But if he's like your third or fourth best guy, and he's just freelancing out there on the court, scrapping, making plays, he does really well doing that when they don't really run any offense for him. Like I said, he was getting some nice putbacks. He just finds his way in the right spot. Like he'll cut to the basket. He's one of the better players as far as following the ball when one of the other players shoot. Because a lot of times if you look, when they shoot, a lot of the guys stand around, and Toppin is one of them ones that he'll go try to get you an offensive rebound, and he'll try to slide into a cut where nobody's paying attention and jump up and get you a basket or get you an extra possession. And I really like when he be getting down like that. Go Kentucky said, "This is Kentucky basketball." I agree with you. I was really excited. I'm really, I can't wait to see if they can carry it over against Vandy. Gary Evans said, "We whooped that." Nah, we really did though. I didn't think we was gonna give it to them like that, but I'm glad that we did. I wanted to see Kentucky have some strong performances. And I think this is gonna be one of them ones that boost everybody's confidence. And then hopefully, like I said, I want them to carry this momentum over to Vandy. And I want them to give Vandy one of these ones so that I know they're going to be ready for Arkansas. Because Arkansas still kind of scares me a little bit. I think we can beat Arkansas, but Arkansas is the one that definitely scares me. So I definitely want to see them, start to build on this. And it's just crazy because like tonight, or let me not say tonight, this afternoon, they played somewhat, similar to what I thought they would be able to do all year after watching them in the summer. Now, obviously, I didn't think they would be blowing everybody out like they did in the summer because I knew the competition was going to be better. But it was just kind of refreshing to see them starting to put one together where it's like, oh, I know everybody's clicking, they playing hard, they not making too many mistakes. And every once in a while they'll have a little spurt where they'll just make a few bonehead plays right in a row. And tonight I really didn't see too many times where they was making dumb errors or just they, of course you're gonna make a couple of mistakes here and there, but overall I think they handled the ball pretty good. They took their shot selection was pretty decent. Robert Martin said this is the best they played since Maxey days. And he said the squad is now set and CJ can just help with the minutes. Yeah, unfortunately, I know Calipari really, really wanted to work CJ into that starting lineup because of his shooting ability. And, I don't really blame him because if you see CJ shooting in practice every day, you feel like you got to find a way to get CJ in the game. Slim Reaper said CJ was just trying to break in his new shoes. Big A Anthony Richardson said this was UK's best case scenario. Almost 3 20-point scores. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, I feel like if you can get them to consistently have three guys, in high double figures, they could be tough to beat. Now, I don't know if you can get that every game, but at least if we can get 3 guys to do, or maybe even 4 to do like 13 to 15, we can be tough. But I definitely liked that they actually got some guys playing aggressive. It seems like people ain't playing scared. Earlier in the season, it just seemed like too many guys was playing scared. They was I feel like they was playing to try not to get in trouble. So they was scared to make plays because they maybe was worried about Calipari taking them out the game. Because we had so many different starting lineups. It was like nobody was safe. Pretty much Oscar Tshiebwe and Cason Wallace was like the only guys that pretty much was guaranteed to play probably 25 minutes or more. Everybody else, it was just like a toss-up from game to game. And I think it was causing a lot of guys to not be able to play free and not to be able to use their instincts on the court. And they was just playing too robotic. And now you're just starting to see some of the confidence rise. And they just making better decisions. They making better plays overall. Definitely Antonio Reeves looks way more comfortable now. He looks like he actually got some confidence, like somebody over there told him, like, when you get the ball in your hands, you need to try and make something happen, because now he kind of looks like what he looked like in his Southern Illinois days, where he just looked like, the coach is telling him, like, go get some buckets for us. And he was definitely getting them. Cason Wallace was shooting good from outside. Cason Wallace hit most of his jump shots. Like I said, he just missed a few bunnies at the basket that I was surprised. He probably shorted himself probably like 4 to 5 more points if you just look at some of them easy ones that he missed around the bucket. Sometimes, he had some bad angles, but I'm used to seeing when he gets that close to the bucket, he usually finishes pretty good. So he still ended up with 19 because he was shooting his jump shot well, but he definitely could have had a few more buckets though. Slim Reaper said this is how we was looking in the Bahamas. It was, and that's why coming into the season, I was thinking Final Four, because I was seeing this, and I said, man, they're gonna be one of the best teams in the country. Now the one thing that they did in the Bahamas that they haven't been able to do is they blocked a lot of shots in the Bahamas. And that's the one thing that they still can't really do that well. But overall, they look something close to what they did in the summertime. Joseph the Horror Guy, go Kentucky. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Morgan Reed said, "Love seeing our guys having fun and balling like we know they can." Yeah, they really look like they are enjoying it now, and I think it's because, like I said, I think Calipari finally got this whole rotations figured out, and pretty much everybody knows where they stand. They kind of figure about how much they're gonna play. They know who's in and who's out. They seem to be accepting of it, and the ones that aren't necessarily involved a lot seem to be supportive. So it looks like they more of a family. One of my sources was telling me a couple of days ago that they talked to one of the players' parents, and one of his parents was saying that, like, you know, from what he was getting from his son, that they wasn't really hanging with each other. They didn't really socialize with each other too much in the beginning of the season. So there's like they kind of really didn't know each other that well. They didn't really have that brotherhood, that bond that, you know, all great teams got to have. And I think, you know, after they got busted by South Carolina, I think that's when they kind of started coming together and started doing more things together like a family. And you can see the difference. Like, they just seem like, you know, like they support each other more. Seem like some of the egos have gone away a little bit. You know, everybody's still, you know, getting involved, getting to do their thing. But just seem like they just more of a team now, and they look like a legitimate team. Joseph the Horror Guy said, "Hope we beat Vandy and Arkansas." Me too. I definitely think we need to get this Vandy one for sure, because I definitely think that's gonna be the easier matchup. And Arkansas still scares me, so I feel like just to make things safe, we need to get the Vandy win, so that if we do have a slip up against Arkansas, it ain't gonna hurt us as bad. Big A said, "What happens to this chemistry when you reinsert Wheeler and Frederick?" Well, I think it's possible that it could hurt it a little bit, because I don't think Frederick will hurt it as much, because I think Frederick's role is more of working in the offense, and I think Frederick could be a player that's not going to make too many mistakes, not going to dominate the ball as much. So I think it'd be easier to work Frederick back in. Wheeler, on the other hand, it could be a little difficult to work him in, but I actually believe that Wheeler has played a lot better since he came off the bench. So hopefully, I don't think when he comes back, it'll mess things up too much. I think, you know, as long as Wheeler stays under control and he plays within the offense, I don't think he will hurt him too much. Go Kentucky said, "I love a dude when he's shooting them wet 3-pointers." Yeah, I think eventually a dude's going to be a nice player. I think he, you know, Calipari called him out, said he got to work a little harder. You know, he got to get in the gym a little more. So hopefully he's going to be doing that. Because next year they're going to have some horses, you know, and if he wants to get out there with them, he's going to have to work hard. So I hope that he's ready to go, man, because I think he could be one of those guys that could be good on both sides of the ball as well if he works hard at it. Like, I don't know if he could be as good of a defender as Casey Wallace can be. Man, he's one of the best defenders I've seen at Kentucky in a while. But, you know, if he can give us something close to that, you know, it would be, you know, a big blessing to the team. Martin Roberts said, "Nobody wants to see the Cats right now while they hitting shots." I agree. I think if they come into the tournament playing like this, I think they're gonna be a scary low seed for somebody. They could potentially put some teams on upset watch. I definitely think it's some top seeds out there that we can beat. Of course, you just got to see what team comes out to play that night. But if this team comes out to play, we definitely can put some people on notice for sure. Go Wildcat said, every time I see Reeves shoot, he think it's going in. Reeves was looking good tonight, man. He was looking automatic. But we know Reeves is capable of that. So we just gotta keep him going. Just hope that he just keeps keeps his head in the game and keeps his confidence up. Cause I feel like that's what hurt Reeves. I feel like he had one or two bad games against competition in the beginning of the season. I feel like his confidence went down. He was coming off the bench. So maybe he just wasn't, maybe his head wasn't really all the way in the game. And I think maybe he's more settled now that he knows his role, he knows his place, and he's playing better. So I don't think Calipari could put him back on the bench now. I think he's pretty much stamped his position out there now. Joseph, the horror guy, said Oscar Tshiebwe played great. Nah, he did. He had been having a couple of games where he was looking real bad, but today, man, he was on point. He was National Player of the Year Oscar today. Cause we've seen him have some good games and we've seen him have some terrible games. But if we can get that type of performance from him for the rest of the season, we'd be good. Morgan Reed said, would have liked to seen Collins play more. Yeah, Collins just in a weird spot because I feel like if you got Toppin playing well and Tshiebwe playing well, it's gonna be hard to find a lot of minutes for Collins. But Collins needs the minutes to improve. I feel like he's kind of in one of those situations where I feel like once he gets minutes and once he feels like he knows he's going to play a certain amount of time and he's not afraid of making mistakes, I feel like he can give you a little bit. But I feel like he's in kind of one of those positions where he's probably out there and he's probably a little hesitant, probably trying to play not to make mistakes and not get in trouble. But once he gets comfortable and he's not playing like that, I think he will help some, though. Slim Reaper said Oscar does well going from outside in. Total game changer. Yeah, I think the thing about Oscar is I feel like when he plays with his back to the basket, he kind of doesn't know how to read what else is happening on the court, right? So when he has the ball, I feel like if he got his back to the basket, I feel like he has a one-track mind, and that's that he needs to turn and score. And when he turns, he just picks a direction and he goes. But I don't think he really has a feel for like where the defense is, if anybody else is open or if anybody's cutting. Like I don't think he can see any of that or have that instinct to know where it's going to develop at. So when he faces the basket, I think he's able to pick his spots a whole lot better. Like he knows, like, if he's facing the basket, he knows if he got enough space to pull the jumper. He knows if he goes left, he got an advantage. He knows if he goes right, he can see where the defense is going to come from. Just different things like that. He can read where the open man is going to be. He plays way better like that. Because, like he was like a black hole in the beginning of the season. Like when they threw the ball into him, the shot was going up no matter what. It didn't matter if anybody was open. Didn't matter if he was getting double teamed. He was going to try to force it up. And whenever, he struggles in the double team a lot. So I think he's much better playing facing the basket. I definitely still like him, down low, but I still want him to try more face-up moves, even if he catches it in the post, because he just yeah. Keith, that flagrant foul, I mean, it happens, but yeah, how it goes sometimes. They definitely, the referees sometimes they gonna be a little inconsistent, but sometimes it can work in our favor too. Because there was a couple of questionable calls on our side too. Like one that I definitely remember was when Casey Wallace stole the ball from that one dude that was shooting that jumper. Now technically, he swung his hands through and he hit Casey's hands, but when he raised up to shoot the ball, like Casey fouled him by default, and he just took the ball. So we kind of got some calls too, but yeah, that definitely was it was a weak call for sure. Definitely, they're gonna blow some, but the thing about it is tonight we was 20 plus points better. So even when the referees make the mistakes here and there, we definitely was able to overcome it, and that's how you're going to have to be for the rest of the season. Now, I love that their whole attitude has been taking one game at a time, and it seemed like they just trying to, trying to finish one team at a time and just get to the tournament and just keep inching forward just a little bit, and hopefully we can make a run. Big A said, are you comfortable that this is the starting lineup the rest of the way? And do I think Calipari is comfortable with it? I think majority of the fans, including myself, are definitely comfortable with this lineup. A lot of us in the beginning of the season wanted Livingston to get more minutes, and he does now. I know he didn't play as much tonight, but he still played 23 minutes. So we comfortable with Livingston. A lot of people didn't really like Frederick playing as much as he did. And I know this was Frederick's first game back. And we'll have to see how Calipari handles the second game and see what kind of minutes that Frederick plays. Let's see, tonight he only played 7 minutes. And honestly, I think 7 to 10 minutes is enough for Frederick. The majority of the people that I've been talking to say that Reeves should have been starting from the jump. And now pretty much this seems to be the set lineup. So I think, not to speak for the fans, but I think the majority of us feel like this is the most productive lineup that we have. Now, as far as Calipari is concerned, I ain't really for sure, because we know that Calipari definitely loves Wheeler. So I know when Wheeler comes back, Casey Wallace ain't playing 37 minutes. He probably still play high 20s to even low 30s. But I definitely think he's going to find a way to get Wheeler in there. And I just got to hope that, Wheeler plays under control and, he takes care of the ball and makes the right plays in crunch time. I'm not sure if Calipari is still going to try to work Frederick in there or not. I know in the beginning of the season, he wanted to, he was playing Frederick a lot of minutes when Frederick was not really producing anything. So I hope that he doesn't go back to that, especially with Reeves playing the way he is, Livingston playing the way that he is. So hopefully Calipari is cool with this lineup, just like everybody else seems to be. Now, Horror Guy said, so what do you think? What seed are we going to get? I ain't really for sure how this is going to shake up. I guess what are we in right now? We in second place in the SEC right now. Is it second or third? We up there in the SEC. So I'm not really for sure, but definitely if we get a chance to at least, if we can make it to the SEC championship game, and then maybe even if we didn't win it, I still think we could probably get a decent seed. But if we beat Arkansas, that'd be a good win for us, even though I don't know what quad level they would consider it at this point. But I think they were saying Auburn, you can't consider it a quad win because we played them at home, or quad 1. I think it's quad 2 because we played them at home. So I'm still not really sure how this seeding is going to work out. But, I still like, I think if we make some noise in the SEC tournament and we can get a decent seed in the tournament, like if we can get up to maybe a 5 seed or something like that, I think we could have a shot. But if we end up with a low seed, then I just want to see us potentially, bust a bracket in the first or second round before we go out of there. But you just never know with them playing like this. I ain't really for sure what could happen. Like right now, I'm looking like, man, we could really. At first, I was just hoping that we could just get in the tournament, but now I'm feeling like we could beat a few teams in there. Like we could potentially peak. We could be peaking right now, and we could be becoming dangerous. So, we'll just have to see. If Michigan wins, is that a quad 1 for Kentucky? Lady bass player, I ain't really for sure. I ain't paid attention to what Michigan is doing right now. At one point, that was our best win of the season, and then Michigan fell off badly. So I haven't paid attention to what Michigan is like. What's Michigan's position right now? So I don't even know, to be honest. Felix the Cat. If we play like this, we can make some noise. No one want to play the Cats. That's how I'm starting to feel. I think we can be that scary. Like I said, we can end up being a scary low seed that could potentially bust everybody's brackets. We really just we let too many slip away early in the season, or we could have been in a way better position. But we just wasn't ready in the beginning. We didn't know who to play. Nobody know their roles. The coaches was trying to figure it out. So we ended up having a lot of growing pains. But I feel like right now we kind of got a good idea of things. So I feel much more confident now. Like I said, we got to get Vandy for sure. Andrew Nelly, what's up, man? I ain't heard from you in a minute, brother. Hope you been all right. But I can't wait to see what we do against Vandy and then gear up for Arkansas. I feel confident we can get Vandy. The Arkansas one is the one that scares me because Arkansas, they tall and athletic. And that's the type of teams that always give us problems. So, but I hope that, with guys playing with more confidence and different things like that, I hope that if, we'll have a better shot at Arkansas, we'll be more prepared. But those tall athletic teams are always the ones that scare me. Horror guy said, I know Louisville ain't gonna win the ACC tournament. It might be a little while for Louisville's contending for the ACC tournament, but I don't think Duke or North Carolina gonna win it this year. It'll probably end up being somebody like Virginia or somebody like that. Right now, I don't even know if North Carolina would even be in the tournament. Duke is probably gonna be in the tournament, but I don't think Duke is gonna have a nice seed. So it could be ugly for them too. But I think it might be over for North Carolina. Unless they make some crazy noise in the ACC tournament. But other than that, I think they might have to sit this one out. We'll see. I didn't know what they did this weekend. I don't know if they've already played or, you know. Horror guy said, I remember last season, we lost to Arkansas at Arkansas. It's gonna be tough, man. Arkansas they just got that matchup problem that's just tough for UK. They got 2 or 3 guys tall, athletic. They're gonna give Oscar some problems. But like we was talking about earlier, I think Oscar kind of figured out a little bit better that he plays facing the basket. So hopefully, hopefully Oscar will be able to hold his own. He won't get swallowed up. And, we just take, good shots and play solid defense. Hopefully we can get Arkansas. But I'm definitely excited though. I can't wait to see these tournament seedings start to fall into place. But I'm ready for it though. Felix the Cat said, if we beat Vandy, Arkansas, it won't matter in the standings. Yeah. If we beat Vandy, I'm pretty sure we'd be a lock to be in at that point. So the Arkansas game won't matter as much. I still would love to win it though, but it ain't gonna kill us necessarily. It ain't gonna keep us out of the tournament. But I still want us to get the W though. Oh, Kentucky Wildcat just told me North Carolina is blowing Virginia out. Man, see, college basketball is crazy this season because it's just like from week to week, a lot of teams just aren't consistent. You don't know what you're gonna get. Some weeks, some teams look like top 5 teams, and then the next week they look like they should be ranked in the 30s and 40s. So it just goes to show you this tournament is up for grabs this year. Anybody could win the championship. That's why it's so important that you make sure you get in. I feel like there's no clear-cut favorite to me that makes me feel like if we see this particular team, I know that we can't win. Now, of course, like I've been saying, we have matchup problems against tall, athletic teams, but I feel like there's no clear-cut favorite in college basketball this season. I feel like everybody is pretty much average, so I feel like we got just as good of a chance as anybody. Keith said, I would be happy if we got a 6 seed. I would too, yeah. I would, because at one point I was just hoping for us to get like a 12 seed. So if we got a 6 seed, I'll be cool with that. Maybe we can make a little noise from the 6th spot. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, listen, I ain't going to hold y'all too much longer. Like we said, great win. We got to keep the momentum going. We got to carry it over into Vandy. And then I really want us to beat Arkansas. But, we'll see how it goes. We'll cross that road when we get there. But good win today, the guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in as usual. And I will see y'all next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.